For more than 50 years, Dolly Parton has been seen as a symbol of resilience, someone who could turn hardship into melody and heartbreak into strength. Audiences grew accustomed to her unwavering optimism, her laughter, and her ability to rise again no matter the circumstance. Yet recently, there has been a subtle shift. When she speaks, there is a softness where certainty once stood, a quiet pause that suggests something deeper beneath the surface. This is not the kind of change that comes from career decisions or public pressure. It feels more personal, more profound. What she is facing now is not something she can simply write her way through. It is a chapter shaped by loss, one that cannot be rehearsed or performed, only lived. And for the first time, the woman who always seemed unshakable appears to be carrying something fragile. Behind Dolly's global fame existed a love story that remained almost entirely hidden from public view. Her husband, Carl Thomas Dean, chose a life far removed from cameras and applause. While Dolly became one of the most recognizable figures in entertainment, Carl deliberately stayed out of sight. He did not attend events, give interviews, or attach his identity to her success. This contrast was not accidental. It was a decision that defined their relationship from the beginning. Their bond was not built in the spotlight, but in quiet moments away from it. In an industry where visibility often defines importance, Carl's absence made their connection even more unique. He represented something rare in her world: privacy, stability, and a sense of normalcy that fame could never provide. Their story began in the most ordinary way. Dolly had just arrived in Nashville at 18, standing outside a laundromat, when Carl noticed her and struck up a conversation. What followed was not a whirlwind romance, but something slower and more intentional. Dolly later reflected that what stood out was not his words, but his sincerity. He saw her as a person, not a performer. Carl's approach was patient. He showed up consistently, never rushing or pressuring her. In a world where ambition often accelerates relationships, their connection unfolded naturally. That steady beginning became the foundation for everything that followed. It wasn't built on excitement alone, but on trust, respect, and a quiet understanding that would guide them through decades of change. As Dolly's career began to gain momentum, she was advised against marriage. Industry voices warned that commitment could limit her opportunities. But instead of choosing between love and ambition, she chose both, on her own terms. The couple married privately in Georgia, with only a few people present. For a long time, the marriage remained unknown to the public. This decision was not about secrecy in a negative sense, but about protection. They created a boundary early on, one that allowed Dolly to grow professionally without sacrificing her personal life. Carl's choice to remain out of the spotlight wasn't a rejection of her world. It was his way of preserving theirs. Carl made his stance clear after attending a single formal industry event with Dolly. Though he supported her, he realized that public life was not for him. From that moment on, he stepped away completely. He did not appear at premieres or award shows, nor did he participate in interviews. Instead, he built a life that existed parallel to Dolly's fame but never intersected with it publicly. This separation became one of the strongest elements of their relationship. It allowed each of them to remain true to themselves. Dolly could embrace her public identity, while Carl remained grounded in a quieter existence. Their marriage thrived on an unconventional principle: distance. Dolly often joked that spending time apart helped keep their relationship strong. While she traveled extensively for work, Carl remained at home. Rather than weakening their bond, this arrangement preserved it. It reduced conflict, minimized pressure, and allowed them to appreciate their time together more deeply. Their lifestyle was simple in private, far removed from the luxury people might expect. They valued routine, comfort, and familiarity over extravagance. This balance created a relationship that felt stable despite the chaos of fame surrounding it. What made their connection unique was not constant closeness, but mutual respect. Carl never attempted to control Dolly's career, and she never tried to change his preferences. They accepted each other fully. This kind of acceptance is rare, especially in relationships shaped by public attention. Their dynamic was built on trust rather than surveillance, on loyalty rather than obligation. Each understood the other's world without needing to be part of it. That independence strengthened their bond instead of threatening it. humor played a crucial role in how they navigated challenges. Dolly often mentioned that they avoided prolonged arguments by choosing laughter instead. Disagreements were handled lightly, preventing them from escalating into something damaging. Carl's personality balanced Dolly's high-energy lifestyle. He was direct but never harsh, honest without being hurtful. This emotional balance allowed them to face difficulties without losing connection. It also reinforced a sense of safety within their relationship. As Dolly's fame grew, so did public speculation about her personal life. Rumors were inevitable, especially given her charisma and the nature of her work. However, she remained transparent about her personality, acknowledging her natural warmth and openness with others. Despite this, she maintained clear boundaries. Emotional challenges did arise, moments that tested her, but they never defined her choices. Her commitment to Carl remained unwavering, not because of obligation, but because of genuine love. Carl's reaction to external pressures was calm and steady. He did not react with jealousy or control. Instead, his trust created a space where loyalty felt natural rather than enforced. This quiet confidence played a significant role in maintaining their relationship. It removed the need for constant reassurance and replaced it with understanding. Their bond was not built on fear of loss, but on confidence in what they shared. Music became one of the ways Dolly expressed her relationship. Many of her songs carried emotional depth that reflected real experiences. While audiences connected with the lyrics broadly, for her they often held personal meaning. Writing allowed her to process feelings and preserve memories. It was both an artistic outlet and a private conversation. Through music, she could say things that didn't need to be spoken directly. Over time, the tone of her work evolved. Early songs captured passion and vulnerability, while later ones reflected stability and reflection. This shift mirrored her relationship. It showed a journey from excitement to enduring commitment. Her music became less about fleeting emotion and more about lasting connection. This progression added depth to her artistry and authenticity to her storytelling. Carl remained her most honest listener. His feedback was simple but meaningful. He didn't respond to fame or public reaction, only to sincerity. This grounded perspective helped Dolly stay connected to what truly mattered. In a career filled with external validation, his quiet approval carried a unique weight. It reminded her that authenticity mattered more than applause. As time passed, their priorities began to shift. Career demands slowly gave way to personal needs. Health became a factor that changed their routine. Life slowed down, and their focus turned inward. This transition was not dramatic but gradual. It reflected a natural evolution, one that many long-term relationships experience. The difference was how quietly they handled it. When illness entered their lives, everything changed. It required patience, care, and emotional strength. Dolly adjusted her life accordingly, stepping back from public commitments. This decision surprised some, but it aligned perfectly with who she had always been. She chose presence over performance, prioritizing her role as a partner over her identity as an entertainer. Caring for someone through decline is a deeply human experience. It involves moments of sadness, exhaustion, and reflection. Dolly approached it with honesty, acknowledging the challenges while remaining committed. She did not present it as something easy or idealized. Instead, she showed the reality of love during difficult times, steady, patient, and unwavering. Eventually, the moment came that marked the end of an era. Carl's passing closed a chapter that had lasted for decades. The announcement was simple, reflecting the life he had chosen to live. There was no spectacle, no public display, only quiet acknowledgement. This approach honored his wishes and the nature of their relationship. After his passing, Dolly faced a new reality. Life continued, but it felt different. The routines they had shared were gone, replaced by silence. Returning to work became a way to cope, to find structure in unfamiliar days. It wasn't about moving on, but about moving forward. Grief is not something that ends quickly. It evolves over time, changing shape but never fully disappearing. For someone who has spent a lifetime expressing emotion through music, experiencing it without that outlet can feel unfamiliar. Dolly now lives the kind of story she once sang about, one defined by love, loss, and memory. This chapter of her life is not defined by fame or success, but by something far more universal. It is about connection, absence, and the quiet impact one person can have over decades. Her story continues, but it carries a different tone now, one shaped by reflection rather than performance. And perhaps in that shift, there is a deeper kind of strength.